Imagine coming home from a grueling business trip, dreaming of sinking into your own bed in your serene mountain cabin, only to find your house hijacked by a power-hungry HOA president who's turned your backyard into her personal glamping resort. That's exactly what happened to me, Ethan Carter, when I returned to my Pinewood Heights cabin mansion and found myself locked out, accused of trespassing on my own property, and staring down a criminal scheme so audacious it'll make your blood boil. This isn't just a story about a stolen house, it's a tale of betrayal, forged documents, and a fight for justice that exposed a real estate empire built on lies. Buckle up, because this roller coaster of deception and revenge will leave you questioning how far someone would go to steal what's yours. It all started when I came back early from a 2-week business trip in Denver. I'd been itching to relax on my deck, grill a steak, and soak in the tranquility of my Pinewood Heights cabin, a place I'd worked years to afford. But as I pulled into my driveway that crisp Thursday afternoon, something felt wrong. Cars lined my usually quiet street, and smoke curled up from my backyard. My first thought was fire. Had my house gone up in flames while I was gone? Heart pounding, I grabbed my keys and rushed to the front door, only to find my key wouldn't turn. I jiggled it, tried again, nothing. Then I heard laughter from my backyard, and that's when the nightmare truly began. I stormed around to the back, and what I saw stopped me cold. Tents, camping chairs, a full outdoor kitchen, and 8 strangers lounging like they owned the place. At the center of it all stood Laura Bennett, the HOA president, a 45-year-old with impeccably styled auburn hair and an attitude that could curdle milk. Dressed in designer camping gear, she was directing her crew like a queen holding court. "Excuse me," I said, barely keeping my voice steady. "What the hell is going on here?" Laura turned, her lips curling into a smug smile that still haunts me. "Oh, Ethan, you're back early. We weren't expecting you until next week." Expecting me? In my own house. My blood pressure spiked, but I tried to stay calm. "Laura, this is my property. Why are people camping in my backyard, and why can't I get into my house?" Her response hit like a sucker punch. "According to the new HOA emergency housing provisions passed while you were away, we can utilize unoccupied properties for community needs during a housing shortage." I stared, dumbfounded, as she shrugged like it was no big deal. "It's perfectly legal, Ethan. The board voted unanimously. Your place is lovely, by the way." I was speechless, rage bubbling inside me. "I don't care what the HOA voted. This is my house. I own it. You can't just move in and change my locks." That's when she dialed 911, cool as ice, and reported me for trespassing on HOA community property. Within minutes, 2 confused cops arrived. I explained I owned the house, but my deed and mortgage papers were locked inside where I couldn't get them. Laura waved fake HOA documents, claiming authority, and the officers, unsure of ownership, called it a civil matter and left. As they drove off, Laura patted my arm and said, "Don't worry, Ethan. Sort this out through proper channels, and maybe you can join us for Esmores tonight." I stood in my own driveway, watching strangers roast marshmallows in my backyard, and knew I was in for the fight of my life. Furious, I checked into a hotel, each $80 night fueling my resolve. I spent hours researching HOA laws, and Laura's emergency provisions stank of fraud. No way could an HOA seize a home without notice or legal process. I headed to the HOA office in a strip mall, where a nervous receptionist dodged my request for meeting minutes, insisting I needed an appointment with Laura. Overhearing her mention the Carter situation and Phase 2 on a call sent chills down my spine. What was Laura planning? I tracked down my neighbor, Mr. Jenkins, a 20-year Pinewood veteran, who was stunned. "Ethan, the HOA can't take your property. We don't even have a housing shortage. Half these homes are vacation properties." He revealed Laura had been snooping about my mortgage and travel schedule before I left, suggesting this was no spur-of-the-moment scheme. I called my friend Emily Harper, a sharp lawyer who'd helped me buy the cabin. She listened quietly before saying, "Ethan, this sounds like sophisticated fraud. Laura's covered her tracks, but we'll be smarter." Digging into Laura's past, we uncovered a pattern of targeting absent homeowners. The Thompsons lost their lake house to Laura's temporary management during a family crisis, only for her company to rent it out. The Rivera family faced relentless HOA fines until they sold their lot dirt cheap to Laura's firm, where her son now lives. It was clear Laura wasn't just a petty HOA tyrant. She was running a property theft ring, exploiting trust in the system. Then came a cryptic email from an unknown address. You can't defeat her without concrete evidence. Was it a scam, or did someone inside Laura's circle know her secrets? Emily thought it might be an insider too, scared to come forward. Our break came when I met Mike Sullivan, a contractor Laura hired for my property. He brought a folder of damning documents, fake permits listing Laura as owner, emails about removing the occupant, and plans to bulldoze my cabin for a townhouse complex. Laura had secured a $200,000 loan using my house as collateral, with forged signatures so close to mine except for one detail. My quirky habit of dotting I's with circles, missing in the fakes. Mike admitted Laura's county connections, judges, council members, even a brother-in-law in the DA's office made him wary, but he documented everything to protect himself. Confronting Laura at her office, I tossed the documents on her desk. Her mask slipped for a second before she doubled down, calling the sheriff to claim I was threatening her. She even hinted at accidents befalling my house or Mike if I didn't back off. That night, Mike's phone went to voicemail, and his office was shuttered. Panic set in. Had Laura gotten to him? But another anonymous email arrived. Check the Pinewood Community Center security cameras. Last Tuesday, 2:15 p.m., a flash drive taped under my car contained footage of Laura bribing officials and discussing making the Carter problem disappear. Emily's eyes lit up. This is organized crime, fraud, bribery, extortion. Detective Larson confirmed Laura's theft of 12 properties worth $3 million across multiple communities. Mike, in hiding after death threats, agreed to testify with protection. Laura's desperation peaked when she forged a condemnation order for my house, claiming structural issues. The county inspector debunked it, adding forgery to her charges. At the emergency hearing, Laura's slick lawyer painted me as a vengeful homeowner, but our evidence recordings, Mike's testimony, and victims' stories crumbled her defense. When the judge saw her forged inspector signature, Laura's composure shattered. Handcuffed, she glared at me, snarling, "This isn't over, Ethan." I wasn't scared anymore. 6 months later, her trial exposed a $5 million real estate scam. Her assistant, our anonymous source, provided recordings proving years of fraud. Laura got 25 years, her network was dismantled, and victims reclaimed their homes. The sweetest moment was turning my key in my cabin's door, reclaiming my sanctuary. At a backyard celebration with fellow victims, we toasted justice. But mid-party, a black sedan pulled up, and Laura, impossibly free in an orange jumpsuit, strode toward us. She'd escaped a prison transport, using a GPS tracker to stage a final confrontation. "You won the battle, Ethan, but not the war," she sneered, pressing a button that summoned sirens, not a bomb. Police rearrested her, but her parting words, "I've got friends everywhere," lingered. Installing a security system, I realized Laura counted on fear to win, but together, we'd exposed her. If you're facing a corrupt HOA or bully, document everything, find allies, and fight. What would you do if someone stole your home and dared you to stop them? Share your thoughts. This fight proves truth can triumph, but only if you refuse to back down.